Okay, today we are going to move to module SD-F-1 on screening systems for diverse suppliers. Task is to establish qualifications and create systems for screening diverse supplier businesses. Minimum supplier qualifications and requirements. So diverse suppliers need to meet organizational needs while simultaneously ensuring that they perform well in areas such as quality, capability, technology, and service. Supplier's capacity, a supplier's ability to fulfill customer requirements at a high level while simultaneously working with other customers. Looks beyond a supplier's experience and expertise and measures its ability to take on additional clients. Do you have room for more capacity? Supplier capability, supplier's experience and expertise with a manufacturing process or service. So you got supplier capability and supplier capacity. They're different. Has a supplier performed successfully for an extended period of time for other organizations? Supplier evaluation and analysis. Measures for evaluating suppliers. You can measure them on diversity program. How many certified diverse suppliers do they have? What's the spend? What are the demographics of the location of the business? Quality, cost, performance, service level, size of business, local, regional, national reach, percentage of business spend, would be the customer's business. You can also look at processes, effective cost management programs, accounting, budgeting capabilities, ability to identify and segregate costs, reliable quality control, and how they allocate overhead. And then you can look at operational excellence, past performance, past major customers, letters of reference, history of any government violations, and environmental performance. And then performance measurement, key metrics. What are their key metrics? Are they ISO 9000 qualified? Are they ISO 14000, the environmental one, qualified? What's their cycle times? You can also look at growth. Is their equipment facilities up to date, or is it old and ancient? What is their ability to expand in the future? What are their ramp-up capabilities? And one of the most important is when you walk into the manufacturing floor, what does it look like? Is it all or everything in its place, or is it just a mess? Status of back orders, adequate competition. So procurement for the supplier, adequate source of materials, management of second, third tier suppliers, and supplier evaluation systems. Workforce measures, regular performance reviews, working conditions, management capabilities, project management skills, labor relations, training requirements, and what's their turnover. Leadership, regular performance reviews, view of the organization as a customer, long-range strategic vision, have they written it down? Historical, current, and likely future status. In technology, you can look at production control, scheduling systems. What's their MRP, inventory control system? What's the long-term relationship potential? And what information systems are they using? And then financial, current liabilities versus current assets, also known as the quick ratio. Profit record, net worth, anticipated sales, looking at their financials, availability of additional working capital. Can they get a loan from the bank if they need one? Potential for facility expansion, ability to raise needed capital. Do they have stock? Can they go issue stock, or do they have to get loans? Comparison to industry averages. Here's a couple of check sheets for you. So this one, evaluation factors, associated questions, to the areas we just covered. Here's some questions that cover them. And this one is another one that's kind of similar. Here's diversity program measures, processes, operational excellence, performance measurement. This is more about what I just read. Doesn't really have any questions on it, just talks about it. All right, data evaluation and analysis. Individual measures. When evaluating diverse suppliers, use measures that are aligned with your organization's strategy and competitive position. And then they just took out the diversity measures and made a whole paragraph with it. So it's the same thing that you were looking at before. It doesn't really give you questions, but it does explain what to look for. Other factors to be considered: inventory pipeline costs, project lifetime cost, TCO, switching costs, non-conformance costs, etc. Supplier evaluation. So a diverse supplier evaluation is usually conducted by a cross-functional team. Usually a team can include functional areas like engineering, finance, supplier management, quality, manufacturing. The evaluation process will usually include the following steps: determine and evaluate knockout metrics, identify key supplier evaluation categories, weight each category, identify subweights, define scoring metrics, evaluate suppliers, review the evaluation results, and continuously review suppliers' performance. So this is a copy of a Pew matrix. We got one here that's in the spreadsheet. I don't know, it just explains what a Pew matrix is. So basically you go through and you put in these criteria across the top, and then you put the companies down here, and you put in a plus, minus, or a 0. I think this one's just plus or minus. And then it adds them all up over here and ranks them. So, companies below the red line are going to get knocked out. Those above the red line, we're going to send the RFP to. Basically, you don't want to have to send the RFP to a dozen different firms because it'll take you forever to go through that material. But they've made an arbitrary cut here at 14. Then when you get the RFP back, the response back, you need to determine how you're going to score it. So determine the weight for each functional area. So total cost or purchasing is going to be 12%. Engineering is going to be 21% of the decision. And then determine the weighting for each of the questions. So these are the questions that engineering is going to grade. And these are the, the importance. These are the normalized weights. Oops. And then this is the total weight. So this is basically 21% times 23%. You can end up with 5% of the total decision. And the same for purchasing. You weight the area, and then you weight each of the questions within the area according to their percentage. And you have to define them. And you need to have that all done before you start looking at the RFP responses. What's good, what's bad, how are you going to score the thing? All right. A supply management professional for Lewis & Clark Sporting Goods is developing measures for screening diverse suppliers. Which criteria should Lewis & Clark choose as the best practice to measure leadership? View of the organization as a customer, long-range strategic vision, and the historical, current, and likely future status. And it's got some stuff in there. They're trying to measure leadership. Effective cost management programs, accounting and budgeting capabilities, reliable quality control, and method for allocating overhead. That's more operational. Past performance, past major customers, letter of reference. Not really. Production control systems, DRP inventory. So the only one that has kind of leadership stuff on it is A. That'd be right. A it is. All right, the supply management professional performs the overall qualification process with the supplier. To qualify diverse suppliers, the buying organization reviews several major categories. Match the qualifying category of labor management relationship with the correct implication for the buying organization. Labor management relationship determines how responsive the supplier may be in terms of planning and inventory management. I don't think so. Shows how well in terms of time and accuracy a supplier delivers goods and services and keeps the cost of transportation at a minimum. Definitely not. That's not labor management relationship. Has impact on worker turnover and job satisfaction, as well as social responsibility for the organization. I like that one. And critical for maintaining a close working relationship as operational and market changes. And then I would go with C. C. C it is. All right. Summary for F1 is essential to establish internal criteria and systems for qualifying and screening diverse suppliers and all suppliers. As organizations increase their reliance on outside suppliers, properly selecting quality suppliers becomes paramount. And a supplier's ability to fulfill customer requirements while simultaneously working with other customers is an indicator of their capacity. Capability looks at the supplier's expertise and experience to determine if the supplier is qualified. So do they have capacity and are they capable? When evaluating diverse suppliers, use measures that are aligned with your organization's strategy and competitive position. And objective supplier metrics are critical for changing both sourcing and supplier behavior. To ensure sustainable profit margins, do not let diverse suppliers cut corners for the sake of time. And without empirical data to review, a customer reference can provide information on critical KPIs. Strong supply chain is often overlooked by small suppliers, but small suppliers offer sourcing, mentoring, where appropriate. Diverse suppliers often lack rigor in their human resources processes, provide mentoring when appropriate. And the vision of the leader in a small business is vital to ensure the owner can share a long-range company vision with you and your executive team, or their executive team. Financial health is key in the long term. To suit sustainable relationships, working capital will become a critical element during tough economic times. Ensure the company's debt service loads are not too high. And there's some references. And now we got some questions you get to do on your own. F1. So these questions here, it's 2-F1. And we've got 4. Well, there's a few of them. There's 12. I'd do at least 10 of them. And then the answers are these. We'll find F1. And you want the answers to the practice questions. Those are the ones you're doing individually. All right, we'll look at F2 next time.